Hey there guys, and welcome to Dark Souls. Now this is the PC version, and I realise I'm pretty late to this honestly, because it has been out on the consoles for a while, and then the PC release. So I actually did just pick this up recently. I got it on a deal, and I haven't really thought about playing it for ages, but once I started to play it, I saw that it was a really good game. And yeah, such a good game that I am inclined to let's play it. Although, I think any Dark Souls let's play that is that is put on YouTube is basically called into question the player's skill. Pretty much all of them. So I played through the entire game once, so this is not a blind LP. I kinda know what I'm doing, but of course I am not the greatest player of this game. I've seen some crazy speedruns, and if I'm shit, then just feel free to call me out being shit in the comments. So, you get that luxury if I fail, so there we go. Right, so I'm just going to go and select new game right now. Right, so I kind of have an idea for what I want to do with this character. I played through the first time, and I'll go and enter my name here. Okay, that's not my name. Okay. Sorry, my keyboard didn't pick up that. Alright, so I played through as a pyromancer the first time. I'm probably actually going to play through as a pyromancer again because their starting stuff is pretty good. But I want to make sort of a sorcerer here. I'm actually going to play it, well actually I'll show you. So I'm going to play it as a pyromancer, but I'm going to use sorceries. Now, here's the pyromancer. As you can see, they all have different stats. The sorcerer is probably considered the weakest class, especially at the start, and they are the ones that focus more on sorcery, but starting classes don't really matter that much just for the start of the game. And the pyromancer is sort of the other mage class. He casts pyromancies, which are just basically fire spells and such. I played him last time and I kind of used those more, but I'm planning to go more for sorceries this time. But the last character I made, he was kind of more of a weapon guy, and he threw a couple fireballs. That was pretty much it. But the pyromancer here is pretty good compared to the sorcerer's stats, really. I am a bit behind on intelligence and attunement, which I will need. Anyone who's played this game will probably know what all these stats do already, so yeah. So I'm going to go pyromancer. One of the things is, the pyromancer set is actually one of the only sets that I believe actually changes its appearance between male and female. There are some altercations between them, but I think this like completely changes what it looks like, more or less, I think. So, I don't know, I'll just go for female because I think it looks better. Even though I probably won't have that much in terms of wearing that armor for a while, so I'm just going to pick the Master Key. The Master Key is pretty much what most people pick because it's one of the only worthwhile gifts that you get. If you've got the Master Key, you can actually get some stuff here at the start. I don't think I'm going to bother with any of this stuff. I don't even know what most of this does, but alright. So, I'm just going to start the game. It's going to be a pretty long opening cutscene, but it is pretty epic, so I'll let you guys enjoy all the cutscenes in this game, and we'll meet you back once the game starts. So, I'll see you then.
In the age of ancients, the world was unformed, shrouded by fog. A land of grey crags, arch trees, and everlasting dragons. But then there was fire, and with fire came disparity. Heat and cold, life and death. And of course, light and dark. Then from the dark they came and found the souls of lords within the flame. first of the dead. The Witch of Asylum and her daughters of chaos. Gwyn, the Lord of Sunlight, and his faithful knights. And the furtive pygmy, so easily forgotten. With the strength of lords, they challenged the dragons. Gwyn's mighty bullets peeled apart their stone skins. The witches weaved great firestorms. Nito unleashed a miasma of death and disease. And Seath the Scaleless betrayed his own, and the dragons were no more. Thus began the Age of Fire. But soon the flames will fade, and only dark will remain. Even now, there are only embers, and man sees not light, but only endless nights. And amongst the living are seen carriers of the accursed dark sign. Yes, indeed. The dark sign brands the undead. And in this land, the undead are corralled and led to the north. Where they are locked away to await the end of the world. This is your fate.
Alright guys, so we're starting our playthrough here in the Northern Undead Asylum, and luckily our savior up there gave us the key, or our corpse with the key on it. So I should underline the reasons for doing this let's play immediately pretty much, and I'll show you some of the attacks on these guys, even though I have a broken sword right now. So, there's probably 3 reasons for doing this. One, the game is just fun to actually play through, and since I'm playing through as a new character with sorceries, something I've not done yet, I think it's going to be quite enjoyable for myself, so that's the first reason for doing it. The second reason is Dark Souls kind of gets a reputation for being extremely difficult and extremely unforgiving. And I wanted to show people that maybe are kind of turned off the game by statements like that, that it's really not as difficult as people claim. What it will punish is recklessness. If you are reckless and you're not very good at the game, then you will not have a good time. You will die over and over, and you won't learn from your mistakes. Learning from your mistakes is pretty much the point of Dark Souls. It's the main thing that will drive you forward, because the PC version is even called Prepare to Die Edition. The game expects you to die a lot. But that's not losing. Losing is only when you give up, essentially. And you may rage at some of the bosses, and I'm going to get out of here. You're not meant to fight that boss at this point. You're meant to just run away. You're meant to just basically... You're meant to keep trying, honestly. Quitting the game is kind of just losing, I would say. More so than anything else. So I wanted to kind of show people that if I can do it, they most certainly can. And I don't know how many people who are new to the game are going to be watching this, so I'm not going to make any assumptions. And I'll try to explain some stuff, and it may be a bit repetitive to people who played this before, but, you know, them's the breaks. So, the third reason, which, you know, if all else fails, then this, I guess, works, is that if I fail a lot, you can point out in the comments how much I suck, and you can all have a good laugh about it. So, you know, at least it's enjoyable from that front. I picked up a shield here and the Pyromancer weapon, which is the cracked round shield, I believe it's called. Yeah, this is a terrible shield. This is probably the worst in the game. It only reduces damage by 65% when you block with it. Then again, it is a broken piece of wood, so yeah. There's also the hand axe, which is a pretty good weapon. Pretty good starting weapon. The Pyromancer pretty much has good gear. Even their armor is pretty good when you're starting out. And the hand axe is a pretty good weapon, but the shield is the kind of odd part out. So, I'm going to try and explain some things. I know I've kind of blazed through this opening sequence a bit here, but the game really opens up after you get out the Asylum. So this is a shortcut back to the first bonfire. You can only open it from this side. Now, this boulder here, everyone will get hit by this if they do not know about it. Seriously, the first time always works. I don't know. I guess just we don't expect to look up. I don't know, I guess. But anyway, here's the guy who saved us, who we are going to go talk to. This guy is called Oscar.
Oh, you. You're no Holly. Thank goodness. I'm done for, I'm afraid. I'll die soon, then lose my sanity. I wish to ask something of you. You and I, we're both undead. Hear me out, will you?
And since he's a cool enough guy, let's say yes. And I think it won't progress until you say yes anyway, so yeah.
Regrettably, I have failed in my mission. But perhaps you can keep the torch lit. There is an old saying in my family. Thou who art undead art chosen. And thine exodus from the Undead Asylum maketh pilgrimage to the land of ancient lords. When thou ringeth the bell of awakening, the fate of the undead thou shalt know. Well, now you know. And I can die with hope in my heart. Oh, one more thing. Here, take this. An Estus flask. An undead favorite.
This is your healing item, basically.
Oh, and this.
And we're getting the key out of here.
Now I must bid farewell. I would hate to harm you after death. So go now, and thank you.
Unfortunately, we cannot save our dear friend Oscar here, so unfortunately I'm going to have to leave him to his demise. It's really saddening. A lot of the lore in this game is kind of a bit obscure. Yeah, it's kind of obscure. I don't know that much about it, unfortunately, but some of it seems really interesting. But I haven't really had a chance to go and look some of the stuff up. But a lot of the lore is actually kind of mysterious, which is one of the game's positive points, actually. The story isn't really presented like blatantly to you. So you can wield a right weapon two-handed. I am wearing the hand axe in my right hand and the shield in my left. Now here are two attacks that I don't use enough. The kick and the jump attack. The jump attack especially. The kick kind of just breaks guards and it can be used to have some funny moments. But the jump attack is pretty damn useful, so yeah, I would try and use this more than I do because I always forget about it. You gotta push the left stick forward and press the associated button for you to do the kick or jump attack. So this is the Pyromancy Flame. I obviously get this because I'm a Pyromancer, not because I'm awesome. No, I don't know, maybe. So let's. I was trying to do the jump attack there. So, oh god damn it! Immediately try to do jump attack. Cannot get. God damn it! Cannot get controls. I seriously just had it. What the fuck? Oh man. Oh, okay. I just don't do it consistently enough. I can't believe this shit. Seriously, I'm doing the same thing. God damn it. It's just me sucking. There we go. And of course it misses. Alright. So that's the first display of fail that you will see from me. Probably more to follow. And if I can beat this game, then you almost certainly can. So there we go. That is a good attack right there. Alright, so this is the part that is actually quite annoying because you don't have to, but the game basically tells you to go and try and parry this guy and then riposte, which is quite difficult. I think these swings where he swings like that are probably the easiest to hit. Really slow attacks, you just wait for them and then you've got to hit with your shield and then attack, and that will do it. That will take some getting used to, and I'm not really confident in my abilities enough in order to constantly nail that. So that will probably be something I don't use as much as I could. So I've got the Pyromancy Flame, which will allow me to cast fireballs, and I should put that in my other hand. But we'll get to that. Right now, we got to go and deal with that goddamn Asylum demon. Now, once you're falling, you can actually just press the attack button to go and do a plunging attack. And I'm going to get my fireballs out, because this guy is really easy. He might hit you a couple times, but it's nothing that you're going to... See, you can kind of dodge stuff. You can kind of dodge through his attacks, but this guy's done. It's really, really easy to take him out, and as long as you're not hitting him with the broken sword, you'll be fine. So victory achieved, you defeated, etc. Yes, I believe the old message for this was you defeated, which made no sense, of course. But yeah. So yeah, if I can beat this game, of course, like a scrub like me can beat this game, then I'm sure you guys can too. And good job, go straight ahead. There are some secrets in this game, obviously it's kind of open. There's a lot of hidden items, like this one coming up. I found this one the first time. I was just exploring everywhere, and I picked up a soul of a lost undead. Now our souls are down the bottom right there. They're basically our currency. They'll be used to kind of level up, purchase anything really from stores, and yeah, basically your main use of leveling up and stuff, so they're going to help you get more powerful. And there's also the item, which I just picked up, which you can use, here we go, to get X amount of souls. That one gives me 200. Anyway, so that was the end of the tutorial, and we're going to go to the next area.
Only in the ancient legends it is stated that one day an undead shall be chosen. To leave the undead asylum in pilgrimage to the land of the ancient lords. Lordran.
The most original name ever. Alright, so we are in the Firelink Shrine, And this is pretty much your main hub for a while, and going to be the main area where you're really going to be starting out from the start of the game. So get used to this area, because we'll be coming back here a lot. Now there's this guy here, and we're going to talk to him, and he's going to give us basically our first hint on what to do.
Well, what do we have here? You must be a new arrival. Let me guess, fate of the undead, right? Well, you're not the first, but there's no salvation here. You'd have done better to rot in the Undead Asylum. But too late now. Well, since you're here, let me help you out. There are, actually, 2 bells of awakening. One's up above in the Undead Church. The other is far, far below, in the ruins at the base of Blight Town. Ring them both, and something happens. Brilliant, right? Not much to go on, but I have a feeling that won't stop you. So, off you go. It is why you came, isn't it? To this accursed land of the undead?
Alright, so that guy is basically telling us to ring a couple bells. Don't know what that's gonna do, but we'll go along with it. Why not? Now there are some items you can kind of run around and pick up here, so I'm gonna try and collect most of them that I know about. So there's some fire bombs in here. Fire bombs I don't find myself using that often, apart from the first boss. I know the Asylum Demon is kind of the first boss, but the first real boss you come across. I usually use some fire bombs on him. Here is Petrus, I believe.
Hello there. I believe we are not acquainted. I am Petrus of Firelink. Have you business with us? If not, I'd prefer to keep a distance, if possible.
Alright, so if we come back to him, we actually get a gift.
Hello there. I realize that I have requested that we retain our distance, but I also want you to know that it is not meant in ill will. Here, take this, as a token of peace. No, go ahead. It's for you.
And we can get a copper coin, and we can also join his covenant if we talk to him again.
Oh my, you again. Oh, I know. How about this? I have to await my companions here anyway. So what if I were to teach you some miracles? Would that please you? Very well. Then first, a covenant with the gods.
So we can join his covenant here, even though this is mostly for miracles, which I won't be using.
Now let me share my miracles. Only their ultimate effectiveness will be determined by your efforts and your faith.
So he's going to sell some stuff to you. Really nothing too great in here, I think, anyway. But you could use heal if you've got enough faith. You can also learn a gesture, and you can talk through this menu.
My companions are Milady and her young knights. She is young, but burdened by an undead mission. We are her defenses, to keep her from harm.
Alright.
Come again.
Alright, so I'm just going to skip his dialogue there as I'm running away. But basically, I'm going to try and get as many items as I can. Now, you may have noticed that I'm kind of ugly, and that's because I'm kind of turning undead, or turning hollow, as the game would call it. Basically, you can spend humanity, which is this item I have right here, in order to turn human again, and that will basically give you the status or look that your character had when you were designing them at the start. But right now, I'm kind of ugly. So, this also enables some of the multiplayer functions of the game, though I probably won't be going into too many of them right now. I'm playing this on offline mode right now, but I could go into online if I wanted to do some multiplayer of some kind. It's not really standard multiplayer, and I have some problems with it, but, you know, so what? If I don't like it, I'll just play offline. So, this is an area with these skeletons and such, which is pretty far above your level. So, I would try and run around here as best you can. As you can see, I'm trying to get around here as best I can. Oh, there we go. Alright, So I get that round shield there usually, and I get these two things because I believe they're the only souls in this area, and unfortunately I got hit there. You can see that it pretty much took off half of my health in one swing. These enemies are really quite difficult for this point in the game, and you should go to the other area first. However, since I said I'm going to be a sorcerer, I'm actually going to, and you can get her soul there, I'm actually going to go to the other area and actually collect some stuff. So this first video is actually going to be me getting some stuff that I really shouldn't be getting until later in the game, but I'm going to do it to kind of get my character rolling a bit with these sorceries, and I'll also get a bonus for my healing, which is nice. So you'll notice I actually started with 10 Estus flasks, and you can do that by kindling at a bonfire. Firelink Shrine automatically gives you 10. There are some others that do give you various other, like they usually give you 10 if not 5. 5 is the normal one at bonfires. But you can kindle stuff with humanity, but you need to be human in order to do that as well. So we're going to walk over that, bring that elevator back up. Now, there's more souls here. This place, you're not meant to go into it until much later on. There are some of these guys that won't do anything to you, so I wouldn't worry about them at all. But there are some items you can pick up here, like this item here. That soul I got back there. I don't think I'll be able to use that sword, but whatever. This item here. Now you can roll into stuff to actually smash it, which is generally the best way to do things, because otherwise you might attack and actually hit someone with it, which you might not want to do. Alright, so now we're going to get the healing thing here. Now the problem is this part right here is infested by ghosts that will kill you quite easily. There they are. They will attack you and they will kill you. Now the thing is, they are rather slow, so you might be able to kind of get past them here, but you've got to be quick. You've got to be really quick. You might get hit once, but just keep running. Just run as fast as you can. Get back to the area where it had before. They don't do that much damage in one attack, as we can see, but right now we cannot take them. Even if you attack them, you can't do damage to them. You need that thing we picked up called Transient Curse in order to damage them, but we're still way too low level in order to kill them. So this is just a snatch and grab operation, and we can go and heal up right now. Sometimes you can make it out of there without them hitting you at all, which is good. But I picked up a Firekeeper soul, and we'll use that a bit later on. For now, we're going to go down here and talk to this guy in a cage.
Well, this is unusual. You haven't lost your head. And more importantly, you're free. How on earth? Well, I shouldn't pry. I'm Rickett of Vinheim. I was once an established smith. Look at me now. Can you believe it?
So if we talk to him again, he'll become the first blacksmith we'll come across.
What is it? Have you? Oh no. Don't worry. I've no intention of escape. It's safe here. Can't bear the thought of going hollow out there. Although, I must admit, not much to occupy myself. How about this? I could forge your weapons, albeit with rather minimal tools. I'll show you what may be the best in Vinheim.
So this guy will actually modify your equipment, reinforce stuff. We're going to use some of the stuff later on. You can also repair. This stuff only requires 2 souls to repair. It's not really damaged at all. But he will sell you a catalyst and a soul arrow. Now, the soul arrow I'm going to buy. I'm not going to buy the catalyst. So the soul arrow is the basic sorcery. However, I'm going to get a catalyst for free, and that's more worth it. So right now I'm going to use this master key right here. Pick up this. The master key is required to get through that door, so you want to pick that up. The master key isn't really recommended for your first time playing through the game, because you might come to some areas where you really shouldn't be messing with the people in there. But for now, since I kind of know the game a bit better, I probably can deal with it. So yeah, the other gifts aren't really that useful. Some of them, one of them is for story reasons, so you can read some dialogue. Most of them are just one-shot uses. Now this dragon here, All we're going to take is that Soul of a Proud Knight. We're not going to wake him up because he is not dead. Just keep that in mind. If you take those other 2 items, he will wake up. And unfortunately, I'm going to have to spoil a bit of an area we're going to visit later on. But that's fine. It's not... I'm going to have to clear it out eventually anyway. And this is just going to be a running operation. And it's going to be pretty... This is pretty much the most annoying part I've got to do. Now, first of all, there are these fat guys that will kill you very easily. They've got giant clubs. They will attack you and they will kill you. So just run past them as quickly as you can, really. And we get to this place called Blighttown. And you know the guy mentioned it. There was actually a bell down here, but we're not going to be able to get it till a bit later on. Actually quite a bit later on, but yeah, this is not a very nice area when you get here. But that's fine, we'll come back to it. Now if you kind of jump off here, some of the guys may follow you and die. The giants, you know, the guys who were following us before with the massive clubs, they may jump off and die. So I like to kind of just make our way down here. As we see, he just died trying to follow me because he's a dumbass. Now these enemies you want to get round, and we are almost getting to the point where I can get the catalyst I was talking about, which is the thing you require to do sorcery. So over here you've got a bug thing. Basically you can hit it a couple times out of the way and run past it, and it will give you some souls. I think it fell off the edge. Get these 2 things right here and use your homeward bone, which takes you back to the last bonfire you rested at. And there is there it is. I got all that gear without even having to fight anyone. So first of all, you can put on your new stuff. You can see that it's a very good starting set, the crimson stuff, especially if you get it right away. But the gloves aren't actually better, so I'll just leave the ones I have. And the catalyst is going to be our main weapon, actually. Unfortunately, we cannot wield it with good enough stats. We need 10 dex and 12 intelligence, which means I think I need some to consume some of these souls here. So I'm going to have to go and level up. You can level up with souls, obviously, so I'm going to get dex to 10, and I'm going to need like 700 souls, was that, for the last part? And then we can actually go on to the starting area, really. Yeah, I'll get it from this next one here. And then I'll be able to use this weapon effectively. So 12 intelligence it is. Intelligence is what we're going to use mostly. And I can go to attune magic here and attune a soul arrow, so we can also have that. And here we go, here's our soul arrow. Obviously it's better to lock on when you're casting spells, but this can also do an attack which pretty much one-shots everything in the starting area. So even if you're not a sorcerer, it might actually be worth it to just get this, because it does one-shot for a while. Eventually it's not going to be as good, but you'll notice we're actually rolling slower. That's because our equipment load is above a quarter. A quarter means you fast roll, like it being below a quarter of your equip load. A quarter to a half means you medium roll, like this, and if you have more than that, more than half, then you will fat roll, which is just amusing to see. I'll probably show you it later on. But basically we can use this Firekeeper soul and talk to this lady here, and our Estus Flask will get a bonus. It will now heal, I believe it's like 50 extra HP or something like that. So now we are pretty decked out and stuff, and we can cast soul arrows. So I'm prepared to actually move on to doing some sorceries and stuff. And we are going to go up to our first area up there, which is entitled the Undead Burg. I think I'm going to leave that for next time though. So I guess I'll just say maybe comment on what you think I should do, because I'm not that knowledgeable on what I should really do with weapons. I've got some ideas, but just don't say stuff like go and get the Zweihander and use it, because I'm not going to have enough strength to do that. I can get the Zweihander later on just to show you how ridiculous it is, but whatever. I actually forgot to equip the shield, which I should have done, because anything is better than that other shield. And this has got 85% damage reduction, which isn't great still, but at least it's better than 65. So, I'll see you guys next time on Dark Souls when we resume our Sorcerer playthrough, I guess, even though I started as Pyromancer. See you guys then.